Hello, everybody. Welcome to Marshall Sings. Got my decaf coffee here because I love the taste of coffee. Okay, where do I start? I'm just going to talk to y'all like y'all are. Y'all are my friends. Uh, First of all, singing is the very last thing I ever thought I'd be doing. Like I told you on my Facebook, telling y'all where to come here. I would take a 0 before I'd get in front of a class in high school and read anything, give a presentation, nothing. I just had to take that 0 because I was so shy. Imagine me being shy. I was, and still had to fight it a little bit here and there, if I get in a certain situation. But yeah, I started singing when I was 17 years old. We was at a revival here in Cartersville, Georgia. The name of the church, which is, gone now, it was across from the Cartersville airport. Anybody from Cartersville knows where I'm talking about. It was called Evangel Temple. And I was in a revival with the Reverend David Huskins. Everybody knows David around here. He's going on to be with the Lord now. But I was in a revival with him, at his revival, me and my mom, Mama Joyce. And the service went great, and he was giving an altar call. And I kept on being impressed by the Lord, get up there and sing a song for him. There was nobody there to sing at the altar service. And I was like, getting up there singing those songs. And it was so strong on me, y'all. Thinking back at it, it brings me to tears because I knew then God was calling me to sing. And, it was like God was like shoving me up there. And I was like, Lord, I don't want to. But then I give in. I went up there and I said, Mama. She was sitting on the front row. I said, we need to sing a song. Mama played the piano a little bit, if y'all didn't know that. She did. She played good enough. And so she got up there and started playing Come Unto Me. You remember that song? Come unto me, I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you, hear me and be blessed. And so that's really the only one I knew halfway. And I had to have the little redback hymnal to sing that. And so she started playing it. And I sang it 2 or 3 times, all the verses and everything while the altar call was going on. Well, afterwards, right here's where the seed was put into me. Afterwards, I didn't think much about it, Afterwards, there was a guy come up to me. He said, Marshall, he said, man, you got a beautiful voice. Yo, I didn't. I didn't think so anyway back then when I first started. He said, man, you need to keep that up. And y'all, did you know that one word of encouragement that man gave me made me go like, really? Mate, I can sing? I sound good? What? Okay, well, let me think about this. Let me pursue this a little further. And I did, y'all. All the way up to where I was 18 years old, I took voice lessons from an unknown man named Leroy Abernathy. Y'all, Leroy was so famous, and I was so young, and I didn't know nothing about somebody being famous, I just went and took voice lessons. Now, Leroy was very famous back in his day with the Happy Two, him and Shorty Bradford. You can look them up on YouTube, the Happy Two. He was a piano player, and Leroy started, he was really famous also for giving piano lessons through the mail. Of course, there was no internet back then. And me and Leroy got so close. He would film us, and I would give anything for those films, in his studio and everything. He was 74 years old, and I was 18 years old. And he taught head tones, singing through your head instead of just singing through your vocals and your chest. You want to stay away from your vocals. I meant your, what is that? Oh gosh, I can't even think right now. Vocal cords. That's what I'm talking. That's what I'm trying to say. Vocal cords. But he taught how to sing through your head and everything. And I took, which is head tones. They call them head tones. And I took voice from him for 2.5 years. And that's the way it got started out. And I started practicing, and just singing in front of a lot of people at church. And to make a long story short, here I am. I've sang in front of hundreds of thousands of people through my vocal career. And when I say career, I didn't make no money at it. I made some money, some people paid here and there, but I didn't do it to be paid. And I never asked for money to sing. I sang in countless, like I told you, countless weddings, countless funerals and stuff like that. And I just really wanted to always better myself vocally. So when I got in front of folks, I wouldn't be so nervous and, I would know how to sing. And so that's where we're at now. And I made a singing page around 6 years ago on Facebook. And boy, was I doing it the wrong way. I would use soundtracks, and sing just like I'm talking to you on the description part, of the Facebook. No links, no nothing. And that's where I made my mistake. I didn't know I didn't know what I was doing wrong. Um, but yeah, I had, well, I bet you I had 50 songs on there with me singing. You can see me sing, and they had a microphone, and I was singing away. So one day I was up here and Mom was going to show me how to make her biscuits. And I said, Mama, hold on, let me go grab my phone. I want to film this so I can have it when I get home to make those biscuits that she always was famous for in her household. Nobody knew her. Nobody around here, as far as social media. And so I filmed that thing, and I talked to her a little bit. And I didn't know how to film, didn't know nothing about editing, nothing at all. So I filmed her, and she did her thing, made the little biscuits. I didn't even show what they look like when they come out of the oven. That's how amateur I was. But I took that thing home, and I had a Facebook page here. Of course, that's how I ran my singing page. And by the way, I did not have no admins on Mama's page. That's what really got me. If you got a cooking page, I don't care who you are, if you're listening to this, make sure you got more than one admin on your page, not just you. That's what happened to me, and that's one reason I lost the page. But yeah, I went home that evening. I had like 300 or 400 friends, just average Joe around here. Still am, really, just average Joe. I'm nothing special. But I had about 300 or 400 friends around here on my Facebook. And so I thought, well, that evening I brought it home. I thought, well, let me put this on my Facebook anyway. Maybe somebody else would want to know how to, make biscuits. So I did. I knew I could do this. So I put that thing on there. So I put that thing on there that evening in the album. And next morning, I got up, and that little video of Mama's had way over 100,000 views on it. And I looked at my phone and I was like, what? I knew I was going to do this, y'all, but I'm going to stay real with you. I'm not going to, I'm going to edit some of this out, but I'm not going to edit all of it out. It blew me away. Oh, you would have been around when I showed it to Mama. I was like, Mama, I couldn't wait to get up there and show her. I said, look at these people that watched you, and there was thousands of comments. Thousands. Now, you talking about somebody who put something on my little Facebook page, and next day I'd have maybe 1 or 2 comments and 3 or 4 thumbs up, loves, or hearts, or something like that. To having y'all, it was way over 100,000. I forget the exact number without exaggerating it. And thousands and thousands of comments. There were so many comments, I couldn't even get all of them, before I come up here with Mama. And I come up here and show it to her, and she was absolutely blown away. Now, I'm going to make this a long story short, because that right there in itself is I could talk about that an hour. And we're here to talk about how I got started singing. But yeah, that's what happened. Now, I'm telling you this to tell you how we lost our page to start with 300,000 followers on it. And so a lot of those comments were like, Marshall, you need to make Mama Joyce. Well, her name's Mama Joyce. Now, they're the one that named her. I didn't know to call her Mama Joyce. Everybody's like, Mama Joyce this, Mama Joyce that. Make her a page. So I did. I made her a page. I figured out on Facebook how to make a page for her, and we started filming. Well, in the meantime, I was still over here doing this singing page the wrong way. And when I made Mama a page, y'all, and we lost it at 300,000 followers, I'm telling you that we wasn't filming long at all, maybe 6 months or so like that. And Mama done had 300,000 followers, and they was coming in by the droves, still. And one day I was on Facebook, and I got a message popped up on my Facebook. 3 of them did. All of a sudden, dun, 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 dun. I'm like, what is this? You're in violation of copyright infringement. Then another one pop up. You're in violation of copyright infringement. And 3 of them popped up, y'all. And you are banned from Facebook. I thought, what? Remember, I was the only admin on that show. There was nobody else that could take the show over. And so when I went over to my singing page, it was absolutely gone. It had been taken down by Facebook. And I had just enough time to go over and see the warnings on my personal profile, to where it disappeared too. And when it disappeared, y'all, there was no steering the cooking show. The cooking show had 300,000 followers, and it was like a big ship out in the ocean with no captain, nobody guiding it. I couldn't get on the ship. I couldn't do nothing with it. I had to make another quick profile just to go over and see that the cooking page was still there, but there was nothing I could do. I was trying to comment down below, people, watch out, this thing, I ain't on here no more. And all of a sudden, about a week later, I found out what happened. Hackers had turned me in for copyright infringements. They knew to do that because I was singing illegally and didn't know it on Facebook. I knew something was going on when I went over there, and one of the older videos had popped back up and knew hackers had taken it over. So I told y'all all that. And me and Mama had to make another page, and we got it up to like 240,000 followers before she passed away. But knowing what I know now, that is the reason I can't, everybody's like, Marshall, sing for us on Facebook. I will and can, but I got to put it in a link in the comments below. I'm not even going to take the chance of posting a link, on the main description page. It's got to be in the comments because I've researched it, and that's perfectly fine. Facebook just wants you to get any kind of singing you're doing off of their platform. Now, I know you can go over right now on Facebook, and there's people doing it, and they're getting away with it. I don't know. I don't understand, but I got too much to lose to do that again because I know I was banned once for that. So saying all that, I want to say again, thank y'all. Thank you very much for coming over here. I got a lot of songs to sing for y'all, and it's going to be in the comments. I know I sound like, just repeating that over and over because I'm trying to emphasize anything I show you is going to be in the comments. And so I sing on Smule.com. If any of you are on Smule.com and you want to sing with me, we can do duets. Just let me know. Just say, hey, Marshall, I've opened up a song over there, if you want to sing it with me. And if I can sing it with you, now I can't sing everything. I know I sing certain songs and stuff like that. But I'll sing it with you. But yeah, welcome to my page, everybody. I'm going to start this thing out with one of my favorite songs. Now, this right here is the introductory video, so that's not going to be in the comments here. I'm going to make a post under this one right here, and that's where my singing is going to begin. The first song I'm going to show y'all, I sang around 7 years ago. I've sang it since my youth. I sang it 7 years ago, and I'm going to use it because I sound just like I did then anyway, so I ain't going to re-sing that one. But it's called Who Am I? And it's got such a great message. And any song that you hear me sing here is going to have a great message. I want to thank you. Go to the video under this one. I'm going to see if I can't pin this one. I hope I can so everybody that comes can see my introductory video here. But under this video, go ahead and leave this video and go to the next video down. And that's where Who Am I is going to be. And it's going to be the first one I sang here. And I got a lot to come, y'all. I sing everything from hymns to contemporary music. I always have. I love contemporary music too. It's praise and worship. Anything that's got a great message to it. Thank you. God bless you. Let's take this singing journey together. And don't forget to share. I love y'all. /Marshall.